Hello, everyone. I just want to wish you a good day, good morning, or even a good afternoon to wherever it is that you're plugging into. And thank you for joining us with Railbookers, as I'm very excited to share with you with a lot of great information. Now, first off, we'll have many attendees plugging in with us. The last two sessions, we've had over 200 travelers with us. So this time I'm expecting the same amount. So if you have any questions during any part of this presentation, please feel free to put it in the question box, and I'll be more than happy to provide an answer towards the end of the session. Now, this presentation may be more or less 25 to 35 minutes long, just depending on the amount of questions that we receive. So the more questions, the better. And it can be in any regards of the topics, but I'm sure you'll probably get a lot of them answered as we go on. Now, my name is Baltazar Lopez. I'm one of the business development executives here with Railbookers, and I'm going to be your host for today. Now, I'm going to spend some time discussing a lot of different things, but more focusedly, we'll be discussing about our Via Rail vacations, which I'm sure everyone's aware that has to do with our Canadian vacation trips, with the Via Rail being the train system. Now, we'll also be talking not only about the journeys, but as well as why even book with Railbookers, who we are, what are the train providers actually doing to maintain a safe environment for your next journey. So we're going to hit a lot on these different topics, and one of my personal favorites is the flash sale that we actually have ending this week. Now, there are a few of you where maybe you've made a few reservations with us, and I want to welcome you back. But for some of you, if this is your first time plugging in, just know that these three brands are actually all part of one major company known as Yankee Leisure Group. Now, we started off with Yankee Holidays, that brand right there in the middle. It started about 49 years ago in 1972. And now in 2007, we created Yankee Leisure Group because we began managing multiple brands. So today we have the three distinct brands, which is Yankee Holidays for all of your city getaways, national park getaways. We have our Amtrak Vacations brand, which is for your rail vacation journeys in USA and Canada. And our Railbookers brand is worldwide rail vacation travel, including some special partners like the Rocky Mountaineer in Canada. Now, I'm sure that you'll be able to find out why many of all of our travelers enjoy making reservations with Railbookers, but these are the main components to it. First off, we can actually book up to 24 months in advance. We'll go more into detail with that shortly. But we offer bucket list experiences, so not just for special occasions, but maybe it's something much more than that. We can assist in any different way. We offer freedom and flexibility on your journeys. It's the most scenic way to travel. Compare it to maybe your car rentals or your tour rides. It's great being able to take a tour bus and seeing some of the sights, but it's much different from being on a paved road and then going on tracks that are going through the mountains. And that's what the train offers. We can also talk about how we offer deposit now, pay later, where it's just a simple deposit. You can book for your journey, and then you do not need to make any kind of payments until the final payment date, which is typically 60 days before departure. You can actually make your own accommodations, where with your accommodations, we offer 3, 4, 5-star properties. And everything I'm going to go over today and much more is fully customizable. So just keep that in mind, because if you have a vacation already in mind, we could even build that package from scratch. Now, we have a lot of support from all of our global offices. I'm actually plugging in from Laguna Niguel, California, which is right near Laguna Hills, California, where our office is located. Now, we have offices in Beverly, Massachusetts, Sydney, Australia, London in the UK, as well as Toronto, Canada. So many locations everywhere. And feel free, just so we can get accustomed to the question bar, because I haven't seen any questions yet, which are completely fine. But let's just make sure everyone can use it. Everyone feel free to put in the question bar exactly the hometown that you're representing. Where is it that you're plugging in from? Maybe it's Austin, Texas, or maybe it's Seattle. I'm seeing right now, looks like we have Alabama in the house. It looks like we have Texas, Houston, Texas, uh, Parker, Colorado. We have Jacksonville, Florida, Mississippi. We have Toronto, Canada. So we have our Canadian friends here. Honolulu, Hawaii. I know that right now it's probably right in the middle of the day for you. And Ontario, we have Spain in the house, as well as Massachusetts, Oil City, Pennsylvania. Awesome, awesome. So we have a stacked house today. Everyone's coming in from every different parts. So When you take a vacation, and we have Los Angeles, which is right here next to me. So when it comes to our reservations, maybe you have something that you have a simple question on your voucher, or maybe you want to just follow up on maybe something that you were unsure about your reservation on your journey. Well, instead of worrying about one of our offices being closed, just give a call to the number that's going to be on your voucher, and it will connect you to one of our many offices that are actually still operating today on the hour. So as you can see, we cover all the time zones because of our many offices. Now, I want to also talk about the elephant in the room because when it comes to vacation travel, I've heard a lot of things from our travelers where they're excited to go, they want to get out of their house, which I'm sure you're the same way. You know, I want to take a vacation that was taken away from me from 2020. 2021 is going to pay now, and all that kind of fun stuff. But you know, when it comes down to it, we're all wondering what's going to happen in the near future with lockdowns being extended or things having to change in the economy, whatever it may look like. So we created this maximum flexibility offer. Basically, if you need to cancel or change your journey, you can do so without facing any kind of change or cancellation fees. The only requirements is that it's a reservation that is booked with us before March 31st of this year, and it will qualify under any new or existing reservations with us. And all we need is at least a 5-day notice prior to the departure date in order to be able to move that reservation to a later date or even a different destination. Now, Canada by train. It's fairly easy and it's very nice to be able to go through the Canadian area. The routes are very straightforward. These lines basically are showing the Via Rail, which is basically Canada's version of Amtrak for the US. And with all these different lines, we have vacation packages across all of them. So we can go through Vancouver, go through the Canadian Rockies, we can go over to Prince George and Prince Rupert, we can stop over to Winnipeg, we can go to Toronto, Niagara Falls, Halifax, Quebec City, Montreal. We pretty much can cover everywhere. And so it really hits every spot that maybe you're looking for. So this is just, again, making it easy for your next vacation trip. Now, we do book more than just rail. I understand in the name it's Railbookers, but we also book sightseeing activities. We book hotels from 3, 4, 5-star options. We have access to ferries to be able to go to nearby islands and go through fjords. We have excursions, even overnight rail journeys for anyone who wants a true train experience of sleeping on board the train. So we're more of that one-stop shop for your next rail vacation. Now, Via Rail is doing a lot of great things to make it a safe environment for your journey. First off, they've increased the cleaning and sanitation on the trains. So at the stations and on the trains, everything's wiped down on an hourly basis. There is hand sanitizer dispensers located in key points all across the area. Masks are recommended for all passengers. So just wearing a simple mask is very easy. If we've all been at the grocery stores, we know how that's like. Just wearing a mask, and if you're going to have a snack on board the train, you can remove your mask to take that snack. And if you have your own private room, well, then you don't need to wear your mask because it's your own space. Now, physical distancing. We've actually reduced the capacity on board the trains. So we're only selling about 50% of the capacity. That's how when you go on board, you know, you have 2 seats on the left, 2 seats on the right, you're comfortably at your seat, while the row in front of you and in back of you will not have any passengers because half of the space was not being sold. That's how it can actually have that space in between. Now, we've also modified the meal services. So the day trips, they're not serving any meals. However, there are snack cars available. And for overnight journeys, the meals will be directly delivered to your private sleeper. That's how you don't need to be in a dining car with everyone with their mask off. So again, a lot of great things, and this is why the rail systems have still been operating throughout this time. So tomorrow to 2 years, this is our booking window. So I know we talk a lot about booking 24 months in advance, 2 years in advance. Maybe you're looking for a pre and post cruise, whether it's ocean or river cruise activities. We could arrange that up to 2 years in advance. But if you're looking for a trip that's maybe this weekend or 2 weeks from now, we can also arrange that as well. As long as the availability is there, we can make the reservation. And when you call our team members, we know because we go. all of our staff members, every part of the department has actually been sent on all these destinations. So we have the knowledge and know-how to recommend the more efficient and more exciting route for your next journey. So really use their expertise because they're much more than just taking a few reservations over the phone. They know exactly what to expect and they're going to really help you get excited for your vacation. So a common question I get asked when it comes to Canada is that when is the best time to actually travel, especially in today's time? And so I want to make sure I just go right at it where when it comes to today's time, the Canadian borders are still locked down. However, we're still having reservations for Canada. So what does that mean? That means it's anticipated with our partners that the borders will be released and opened up to the US coming this September, October, November, December time period, pretty much the end of this year. It's expected to open up. So we have reservations scheduled for that time. Now, we understand that some lockdowns have been extended from time to time. So what we would recommend, especially when it comes to everyone on this call, if we're planning to go to Canada, we would recommend starting to look into 2021. Now, even if you book for 2020 and things get pushed back where we have to push it back to a later date because of the maximum flexibility offer, we can always push it over to 2021 with no added fees. But we can always avoid that just by booking into 2021 itself. So I just want to throw that out there that that's the best time that we're seeing right now for Canada. Now, if you want to know the popular times, it's typically going to be June through September. Those are just the prime times to be able to go through Canada. Now, reasons to travel through Canada, here's a few points that I want to bring up is there's something for everyone. When we're talking about just different routes, we're talking about overnight rail journeys, we're talking about going through the mountains itself, going right through the Cascades over in the Canadian Rockies from Vancouver to Jasper. That's just more of the naturistic side of things, visiting Lake Louise and much more. But when we go over to the east side, over the east coast, now you're getting more to the almost like a European feel. Quebec City has walled mountains surrounding the city. Montreal has cobblestone lanes. So there's much more to see city life when you get to the East Coast and then more of the naturistic side from the mid to West Coast. So there's something for everyone when it comes to Canada. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, flash sale happening this week. So we actually had a flash sale happening last week, but it was so popular and so many travelers were so excited about it that we actually extended it to this week. Now it's not going to be extended anymore. So if maybe you missed this last week, now's your second chance to actually make it a thing. So for reservations from 3 to 6 nights with us, so as if you have a vacation that has 3 to 6 nights, you can save $300 off per couple. For 7 to 9 nights, you can save $400 off per couple. And for 10 nights or more, you can save $500 off per couple. And if it's just yourself traveling, then it's just that number in half, depending on the nights. So this is our biggest flash sale. We actually had a family who just booked for travel into Canada for 2022. And their vacation, they were able to save $2,000 just because 4 of them, just because it was 4 of them and their 4 children all going along. And again, let's get this savings for you too. Now, the first package I want to share with you, again, these are the top trending packages that we're seeing a lot of our travelers take. It's our Canadian Rail Experience Toronto to Vancouver. It's an 8-day tour. It's only starting from $1,599. And it's a very simple itinerary, I guess you could say. But we can also use it as like a base package. So you'll stay 1 night in Toronto and you'll go overnight for 4 nights up until you hit Vancouver for 2 nights. Now, the 1 and the 2 on the cities, those are the hotel locations. So we already have your hotels included in this price and the rail and the activities. We have a hop on hop off tour in Toronto. So the tour hits a lot of the major sites within Toronto, and you could actually get off at any one of the stops to do your own exploring, and then you can get back on the tour bus to go continue on where you left off. It's your transportation and tour guide all in one trip. You'll take the Via Rail over to Vancouver. And Vancouver, again, another hop on, hop off tour. You could even extend this by one more night to be able to go visit Victoria, which is on Vancouver Island, and maybe see the Butchart Gardens. Now, on board the Via Rail, I'm not going to pretend like we just skip from Toronto to Vancouver in a snap. You are going to stay 4 nights on board the Via Rail. So the accommodations we always include in any of our rail vacations is the economy class. This is the most cost-efficient seat on the train. It's the base class. And there's 2 seats on the left, 2 seats on the right, very comfortable. You can roam around the train as much as you like. You're not limited just to your seats. So you can actually go over to the dome car, and it's almost like a lounge area. Now, they do have a snack car that has muffins, sandwiches, sodas, beer, wine, chips, and many other things. But if you want to have meals on board the train, then I would recommend looking into the berths or above. Now, the berths are very comfortable. There's an upper and lower berth, but it's really just the bed itself. Now, all your meals are covered when it comes to any of our sleeping accommodations. So your breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the 4 nights will be included with the fare by upgrading to one of these classes. Now, if you want maybe a cabin, maybe your own room, then I would recommend the cabin for one or the cabin for two. Just like the name suggests, the cabin for one is just for one traveler, cabin for two is for two, but it's a very nice room, your own chair. It turns into a bed once during the evening. You have your own private window, a door that locks from the inside. You have power sockets, and you can still roam around the train to go to the observation car and much other sites. And the cabin for two, very similar amenities, except it's a bunk bed style for two during the evening, and during the day there's 2 seats for the travelers, and a very large window so you can enjoy your own private scenery. Now, I understand that there are luxury trains as well. So Via Rail also offers a luxury class called the Prestige class. Now, the Prestige class, this is the highest level on the Via Rail and just the most, I would say, preferred. Because with this class, there's an L-shaped leather couch during the day. The room is about 50% larger than the cabin for two. It has a large window and a flat screen TV, heated walls, heated floors, the shower and restrooms in the room versus down the hall, all your meals included, and you have your own private concierge. And not only that, but it also includes bar services, snacks, different specialty coffees, and there's also a wealth of activities that you can do like wine tasting, interactive talks, and much more. Now, the meals are all prepared fresh, so you can have, as you travel through the different areas of Canada, there'll be fish, there'll be beef, lamb, pasta, fruit parfaits, and much more, even vegetarian options. Now, that was just one package with the amenities being able to pick and choose. Now, another best one is called the Best of Eastern Canada. So this is, again, that European feel, the lighthouse feel. It's a 9-day tour, only for $1,149. And you'll actually begin in Niagara Falls for 2 nights, where you'll head over to Montreal for 2, Quebec City for 1. You'll stay overnight on the Via Rail until you head over to Halifax for a 2-night stay. Now again, Via Rail, this is what the dome car looks like. Again, it's a very nice lounge area, and it's available to anyone on board the train. Now the Prestige class passengers, they actually have their own private one, but there's multiple of them that are available for economy, berths, and cabin for one and cabin for twos. And then Niagara Falls, we actually include the Niagara Falls Pass. So it actually takes you through a few different activities. You can go in the cave behind the falls, the white water walk, the horn blower cruise that takes you up close and personal with the falls. And these are just activities that you have access to while you're in this area, of course, on the Canadian side. Now, Montreal, it's really very well known for its beef and now the cobblestone streets. And we have a tour that actually unearths the hidden gems within Montreal. Then Quebec City. This is one of the few towns that actually have a stone wall surrounding the entire area. And it just, again, adds that European feel to the city, which you'll be able to stay a night in before heading over to Halifax, which we have a lighthouse tour over in Halifax, which I don't know about everyone here, but I don't have that many lighthouses over here in California. So a tour to be able to see that in the Canadian areas just adds to the occasion. Now, our Ultimate Canada and Rockies westbound. This is a 13-day journey, so it qualifies for that $500 off per couple. And it's only starting from $3,449. You'll actually begin in Toronto for 2 nights. We included a full day tour Niagara Falls. You'll stay 3 nights on board the Via Rail to get into Jasper and you'll stay for 3 nights. You'll go on a tour to take you to Banff for a night. Then you'll head over through the Via Rail through the Canadian Rockies to get to Vancouver for your 2-night stay. Now the Via Rail, of course, is included with this. You can see the bar service area, the snack car, Niagara Falls, where we have that same Niagara Falls Pass with the Hornblower Cruise and much more. Toronto, where we have the hop on hop off tour that takes you through the major sites of Toronto. And Jasper National Park. So this is after you've been on the Via Rail for 3 nights. You're going to step off the train and you'll be right in fresh open air at the national park. And Jasper, it's a beautiful town and very glacier water lakes, and the tour that will take you to Banff National Park as well. Now, Jasper and Banff, they're highly sought out destinations with very low availability. But with Railbookers, we have allotment in these highly sought out destinations. And then you'll head over to Vancouver for your final night stay. And Vancouver, we have access to the Vancouver Lookout, the own individual tours. So there's a lot to do in this town, even if it means shopping. Now, this is one of my personal favorites. This is how we have not been able to take this off the top of our charts for years. This has always been in the top 5. And it's our Canadian Rockies Discovery Eastbound, a very efficient package, and it hits a lot of the naturistic side of Canada. A 10-day tour. It's only starting from $1,849. You'll begin in Vancouver for 3 nights. You'll go on a round trip ferry to Victoria, which is going to be great to see the cobblestone lanes and the Bouchard Gardens. We'll bring you back by ferry to Vancouver so you can stay another night. Then you'll head over to Jasper where you'll stay 2 nights. You'll go on a tour to Banff and you can visit Lake Louise, and then you'll head over to Calgary. Now, Victoria, it's right there on Vancouver Island, right across the way. And I always love surprising our travelers that we can arrange these ferries to take you just beyond a port city. Now, Lake Louise is one of the most photographed locations in Canada, and rightfully so. It has glacier water in it. It's beautiful. There's a Fairmont property laying right on top of it. So again, and a property that we can also make reservations for as well. And just be aware, we can add on any kind of destination. So if you see a long journey of 3 or 4 nights on board the train, but you want to stop in between, let us know and we'll add that destination. If you want to make it a round trip, we can bring you back to the same place you started. We can book a trip in reverse. We can upgrade your private sleep and accommodations as well. So again, there's a lot we can do, and we can even build it from scratch if you just give us a list. And the hotel properties you can see is that's Lake Louise on the left, the Fairmont property, and we have access to Fairmont, Marriott, Hyatt, Rimrock, Hilton, Sheraton's, and much more. And we have properties ranging from the train station to the waterfronts to the center of the city. So we have them everywhere throughout the area. So you have options to pick and choose what you would want to stay at. Now, the final package I want to share with you just encompasses everything of Canada. This is our Ultimate Canada Coast to Coast, a 17-day tour, only starting from $4,149. And you'll actually be able to go from Halifax for a night, Quebec City, Montreal, Toronto, Niagara Falls, 3 nights on board the Via Rail, to Jasper, a night in Banff, and then you'll head over to Vancouver through the Canadian Rockies. Again, Quebec City, that European town feel. You have Montreal, you can see the cobblestone streets. Glacier Skywalk. So now this is jumping all the way to Jasper National Park. When you go from Jasper to Banff, some of our travelers are surprised, but there's actually no train that takes you there. So that's where we would include a tour that's more of a sightseeing activity on your way to Banff. And that's the Icefields Parkway, which includes the Glacier Skywalk. The Icefields Parkway also includes a beautiful route through the nature, as well as it includes access to going out walking on a glacier, the Ice Explorer, a few hiking trails, or even a historic tour guide. So again, a lot of different fun stuff you can do on just a little simple transfer. Now, as we're doing pretty much the full circle here, one question I would have for everyone is which destinations are you thinking about for your next vacation? Now, I'm glad that you plugged in with our Via Rail presentation, but are you looking for a Via Rail vacation? Are you looking for a Canadian journey? Or it's okay if you're looking for Alaska, US national parks, whatever that may be, feel free to put the answers into the question box. Now, don't forget, we actually have our maximum flexibility offer. So for any one of the, maybe if there's any reservation that you're looking at making, as long as it's booked by this month, you can do so and you can change your reservation, cancel the journey if need be without facing any kind of fees, as long as we have at least 5 days prior to departure and it's booked by this month. So now a lot of our travelers are booking with confidence, knowing that if where the world changes, their reservation can change for them in their benefit. Now, why travelers love booking with Railbookers? Again, our booking window is incredible. If you try booking rail outside of Railbookers, you'll find that maybe you can go as far as 11 months, but you can probably only go as far as 3 months in Europe. And it's just very tedious to work with. Where for us, we can book the rail with the times and schedules up to 24 months in advance, including the rest of the package. We can make that bucket list vacations actually happen, especially for any special occasions you're looking at putting together. We can offer you freedom and flexibility on your journey. It's the most scenic way to travel. You can deposit now. So deposits typically are $250 per passenger, and you are booked for your vacation, and then we don't require the final payment until the final 60 days before departure. Now, you can choose your own accommodations, or we can recommend them to you, and everything's customizable. I can't stress that enough. You now don't need to go look online for that perfect wonder package. Just let us know your schedule and the sites you want to see, and we will make it work with your plans. Now, this is just what some of our travelers have to say. I won't read it word for word, but what I find very interesting is it's a common similarity that everyone's saying about a perfect itinerary and just a one call. So it just took one call and they were able to book their entire vacation trip. And it was exactly what they were looking for, if not that, even better than what they were looking for. Because I understand, even myself as being a traveler, sometimes we have to just work with what we get, where, package one, package two, package three, where now gone are those days. Just let us know and we'll create the custom package for you. Now, if you missed the first chance, again, this is your second chance to be able to take advantage of this. You can save up to $500 per couple for one of our vacation packages, depending on the length of the journey. Now, don't forget, if you have any questions, now is the time to put them in the question box. I know that we did have a few pop up, so I'm going to go through those. But if there's any other questions, now is your time to put them in. So let me take a look here. Oh, let me pull up these questions here. But again, if there's anything, just feel free to throw it in now. Okay, so Margaret, thank you for your question. Can Americans travel in Canada by rail? Yes, we can. Just it's paused at the moment only because of the borders. So I think I made a mistake earlier in the presentation talking about 2020 and looking into 2021. So thank you, June. I did see that. I got my just dates mixed up, but some of our travelers and what we're expecting is for the borders to open up by the end of 2021. But to prepare the best way, maybe it's best to also look in vacations for 2022, especially since the rates are the best right now. So, Colin, thank you for your question. Many of our itineraries appear to be geared towards couples. What about solo travelers? Great question. So we actually have a lot of solo travelers taking our vacation trips. It's just when it comes to the just showing hotels, activities, just vacations in general, everything's typically priced in double occupancy because there is a single supplement charge, not by us, but just by the hotels and some of the accommodations where they might increase the price for the one traveler because of the second traveler that could have been in the room, but they weren't. It's called the single supplement charge, and there is some of that on some of our packages. That's why we recommend the cabin for one, as there is no single supplement charge, but in some other areas there might be. So it just requires you to call in with our team, and they can price it out for you. But that's why everything's typically priced in double occupancy because there's no extra charge for just one traveler traveling. Bruce, thank you for your statement here. I see that you're looking at traveling from Chicago, Seattle, Vancouver, Canadian Rockies, Chicago. Is it possible without returning to Seattle? So, fantastic question. Yes, it is possible. Now, you may have to go through Seattle. Typically on that route, Chicago, get to Seattle. Seattle's the border city that will get you into Vancouver by rail. Um, you're hanging out in Vancouver, going through the Canadian Rockies. You come back. You can possibly make that connection where you get into Seattle and you can catch a train to take you straight over to Chicago. But if for some reason the train departs before you arrive into Seattle, then you just have to stay one more night as a forced overnight, just because the train would have already left by that time. But I don't know the schedule on the top of my head, but yeah, that's you have the route exactly correct. So that's something we put together all the time. And for those of you who don't know, we can connect the Amtrak to the Via Rail crossing borders. All we would need is just passport information, like the passport number. Another great question here. So Richard's asking, do you have any tours with the Rocky Mountaineer? We do, and we actually have a lot. So with the Rocky Mountaineer, for those of you who don't know, it's a luxury train system that goes through the Canadian Rockies, but it only operates during the day. So with the Via Rail, you'll go through the Canadian Rockies, but you're going to sleep overnight on the train. The Rocky Mountaineer, it's only operating throughout the day, so you'll actually stop in a town called Kamloops. And then from Kamloops, the next day, you'll go on to the Rocky Mountaineer to then continue on to Jasper or Banff, whichever destination you're looking for. So we can book the Rocky Mountaineer. We have the best of both worlds. Now, some travelers, maybe yourself, you would want to go beyond just Jasper and go cross country. The Rocky Mountaineer doesn't offer that. It only offers the Canadian Rockies and not coast to coast. So we can even combine both trains so you can have the best of both worlds. Okay, and these are great questions, by the way. Okay, I see Alaska is also a popular destination. Yes, Alaska has been on the top of our charts right side by side with our US national parks and Canadian products. And because many travelers will still want to go to Alaska, and traveling Alaska by rail is the best way to see Alaska, which we do offer Alaskan packages that are actually traveling this year right now. So Patricia, thank you for your question. Are these trips fully escorted? So they are not. We're a fully independent tour operator. So these trips are just your own independent journey. You're not going to be restricted to an hour by hour schedule, and you're not going to be restricted on the escorted feel where you have someone with you the whole time. Now, when it comes to the tours, say like the hop on hop off tours, there will be a tour guide leading it, but that's just going to be for that specific tour at that specific destination. They will not be coming with you on the train, and they're not going to be following you to your hotels. Okay, I see here, when I go to your site, I don't see much in Alaska. This is coming from June. If you're on railbookers.com, in the top left, it'll say, I think it says like top destinations. The first link should say North America, and then that will have Alaska under it. And when you click there, there's many options. You can go to the Denali National Park, Anchorage, Fairbanks to see the Northern Lights. We even can go to Seaward, where you can go visit Fox Island and go through the Fjord National Park. All of that is part of Alaska. Julie, thank you for your question. Does book with confidence include 2020 trips? Yes, I apologize if I got my years incorrect, but yes, the maximum flexibility policy allows you to book with confidence, because if you book by this month, before this month ends, you're covered all the way up to 24 months in advance. So when you actually travel, if you need to change it, you can actually reschedule it up to 24 months from the moment you plan to reschedule it. So it can go fairly far, and you don't have to just do the same vacation. Say you planned a trip for Canada at the end of this year. For some reason, the border was extended and you want to look into a vacation 2 years away from that time. I'm just exaggerating it to the max point you can stretch it out at. And maybe you don't want to go to Canada anymore. Maybe you want to switch it to Alaska. You can actually do so, and you can reroute it all the way up to, say, 2024 if your trip is going to depart in 2022. Uh, Tice, thank you for your question. How much are deposits in percentage of total? So deposits are actually not by percentage, it's just based on a base price. So it's $250 per passenger. So if there's one traveler, it's just $250 for a deposit. If it's two, it's going to be $500 off, $500 for deposit, and you're booked for your trip. Now, if your journey is within 60 days, we need the full payment. If it's outside of 60 days, we just need a deposit, and final payment is not required until the 60-day before departure. So you can actually, you're not required to make monthly payments. You can actually wait till the 6-day mark to then make the final payment. Elaine, great question here. So do you offer government or veteran discounts? So yes, we do offer veteran discounts, more specifically military discount, senior discount, as well as children discount on the rail. And then it's combinable with all of our promotions and flash sales. Okay, so June, great question. So Denver to Alaska, can you take the train from Denver to Alaska? You're not able to. There is no train that actually connects from the US into Canada into Alaska. There are trains that connect from the US to Canada, but not reaching over to Alaska. So it would actually take airfare to be able to move all the way to, say, if you want to go from Denver to Alaska, like Anchorage or Seaward, there we can pick you up and we can continue the land journey, and then you arrange your flight back. That actually leads me to the point where if you are looking for a reservation, the best thing to do, of course, give us a call, but you can also call your local travel agent, or if there's a travel agent you're working with, and they can help you arrange those flights. They can help you, just let them know you're looking for a Railbookers quote, and they can fill in the gaps of things that we're not able to do, like arranging the flights. Great question. Okay, Bill, thank you for your question here. So what are your three companies again? Railbookers, Amtrak Vacation, and what is the third? That is Yankee Holidays. Yankee Holidays, since 1972, has been specializing in vacation trips. And then Amtrak Vacations came on board, which were the official tour operator for Amtrak. and then Railbookers for all rail vacations worldwide. So we go much more than just Alaska, more than Canada, and more than the US. We go into Australia, the European area, Japan, Russian trains, the Blue Train, much more, and much more luxury trains like the Venice Simplon Orient Express, the Eastern and Oriental, the Royal Scotsman. So we have a lot in our inventory. We're just seeing pretty much the just the tip of the iceberg. And a very interesting question here. Do you sell Mexico's Copper Canyon Rail? We do not yet, but thank you for bringing that up. We expand our inventory on a monthly basis. So there was a time where we actually didn't have Alaska. Then we have Alaska now. There was a time we didn't have Japan. Now we have Japan now. So just keep an eye out. We will have access to the Mexico Copper Canyon Rail, just haven't received it yet. Okay, another fantastic question. Does the deposit freeze the price or does the price float until 60 days to departure? Great question. So it does freeze the price, I guess, using that terminology. Basically, when you place a deposit, your trip is booked. You're not going to have an increase in price. You're not going to have notification that the rail price had gone up. You are booked for your journey, and all you have to do is pay the remaining of it off. You can do it at a month at a time, or you can just wait till the last 60 days to pay it. Okay, what is the age range of senior discount? So it depends on the different areas. If we're talking about Canada, I believe it's 60 years of age and older as a senior. And if we're talking about Amtrak, it's 62 years of age and older. So just depends on the area of where the senior is. Okay, perfect. Well, I want to thank everyone again for joining us. Again, just give us a call. I'm sure you'll be very impressed on the service you're able to receive. And these are vacation trips that we're booking on a daily basis. Even throughout 2020, we've had reservations every single day. So we're just looking forward to assist you any way we can. So feel free to give us a call. Our operation hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Julie, I actually just saw your question. Senior discount, is there a percentage? Yes. So it's 10% off the rail portion of the trip. Um, and of course, there's some children actually receive 50% off the rail portion of the vacation trip. But again, just give us a call and we can give you a live quote and we can even email you the full itinerary based on exactly what you have asked for. So I hope everyone has a great day, stay safe, and we look forward to your call. This is Baltazar with Railbookers.